What is going on? Literally, what timeline are we in? Over the course of several months, I'm looking over there, I'm looking over here, and I can't make sense of half of what I'm seeing on social media and in real time.
Holy cow. That thing is completely stationary shooting.
Yo, that's a UFO for sure.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yo, it's like that thing they showed on.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
A door opened, and a being descended, with a human shape. He descended. I asked him if he descended by stairs, rope ladder, or something else. He said no. He descended. There was a beam of light. He descended in it, with his arms open like this. Delta formula? He didn't come down. When he got closer, when he saw it was going downhill, he bailed out. He jumped from where he was and hid. Next, and kept watching, put a tree branch on his face. And kept an eye on what was happening. This being arrived, had a red light in its hand. It wasn't a flashlight he was holding. It was something that could have been here, like this, in his palm. A light comes into his hand. He went down, examined his net, examined the place where he was, and there was a branch in front, looking hidden there, really dying. This one he didn't look for it later. He didn't stay. Searching, looking where he was. He went straight where he was. He focused directly on where he was. It was a red light. When he saw that he had been spotted, he ran through the vegetation. The river there is heavily influenced by the tide. It goes down and up with the tide, turns into mud. Yeah, he went out there, along that bank, stumbling over.
We have a record of 400 people attacked by these beams of light that would come from these balls, these spaceships. Sometimes they were referred to like a can with a windshield and two persons, two human-like creatures inside of it, operating that spaceship. Now, the very interesting thing about it is that when the military decided to camp there and to conduct their investigations, the attacks stopped. Very rare attacks took place in other areas, but not where the military were. And also, when the military decided to change their camping from one point of the island to another point of the island, the objects that would be hovering those previous point, that previous point where the operations were taking place, would move to the other area, like it in the own words of the commander of the Operation Saucer, Yolanda, like if these intelligences knew what the military were doing in that area. That's very amazing. These are only 440 pages of a total of 2,000 pages that were produced as a result of the Operation Saucer. I would like to address this to you. I would like that you have time to examine this, because this contains very hard information collected in a military fashion by military men on duty investigating UFO in a confidential, not top secret, but confidential, sometimes reserved operation by the Brazilian Air Force in the Amazon. We don't know for what reason that took place, but that happened.
There is so much going on. It has me scratching my head, but it also has me wondering, why do they want us to look over here? What's going on over there? So right now, as we speak, and probably in the days after I release this video, there are probably going to be more sightings of these orbs, UAPs, and drones. Specifically, I'm talking about today in New Jersey, and I will be touching base on just theories and thoughts I have on this. Unless you've been living under a rock, which by the way, lucky you, make room because I wish I could go live under a rock, you probably have seen on your For You page and your recommended page, social media, now in the actual media, which we all know is a bit controlled, but it's out there, of all of these sightings, drones, and questions from locals and even politicians and local leaders of what's going on in New Jersey and surrounding areas.
Look at this mother. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again.
Honestly, all over the US at this point, even globally, there have been sightings of drones and these mysterious orbs, UAPs, over in the UK, China, other parts of the world. Look, I have a theory about something that's happening in New Jersey specifically, but it could be globally. I don't know, but let's get into it. Hello everyone, my name's Angelica. Welcome to my channel, Just Angelica J, where I like to talk about spooky things, scary things, personal story times, the weird and odd of earthly and otherworldly things. I think that kind of encapsulates this channel. Welcome. So before I get started, I want to just say, those of you might not even know what a UAP is. Let me enlighten you. So back in 1952, the United States Air Force coined the term or used the term UFO, unidentified flying object. Now let's fast forward in 2022, I believe, we had either NASA or a government agency use the term UAP. And UAP stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, or unidentified aerial phenomena. I've kind of heard both things, but unidentified anomalous phenomena kind of is a catch-all for things that happen land, air, sea, and above, I guess, and below at this point. So when I say UAP, just think UFO. But it's a bit different because as we know, again, you might not know this, it has been several years, but there have been like these congressional hearings, there have been like official governmental agencies coming out and basically saying, yeah, guys, the gig is up. Aliens, extraterrestrial life, UFOs, flying saucers, they all exist. And you've had whistleblowers say that the government is fully aware of these things. They've been fully aware. And then you have conspiracy theorists say not only do they know that they exist, they actually have extraterrestrial, alien being, otherworldly technology that they've reverse engineered. And this is how we get a lot of the technological advances in weaponry, maybe even medical technology and other things that we use in our daily lives. Okay, so that's not something I just came up with, that's already out there. And by the way, if you are a government agency and you come across my video, I know nothing. I'm only regurgitating what is already out there, so please leave me be. Now that I've kind of thrown that out there, it is no secret that we are dealing with things in real time. Everyone has a camera phone stuck to their hand, so we are starting to see a lot of footage. Granted, a lot of the footage that's out there is pretty much filmed with a potato quality pixelation of just poor camera footage. Even in 2024, I'm still asking myself, are you filming with a potato? Look, I get it, because if I were to actually see a UAP and it was in front of me, I would have shaky hands. I wouldn't even be able to focus. So I get it. I get it. A lot of the footage that we have and evidence as far as camera phones, pictures, photos, and videos, it is still kind of grainy and blurry and hard to make out. So you have a lot of people going, it's just the government. It's not extraterrestrials. It's not aliens. We know what it is. That's not what it is. And you have other people actually explaining what it is, and it's nothing to worry about. It still doesn't prove that extraterrestrial life or life outside of Earth exists. Okay, I get it. I know. But I was recently watching a lot of this footage from people that live in neighborhoods that are filming all of these drones flying around, specifically in New Jersey. This is kind of how this is at the forefront of the media. I'm not saying this has only happened in the United States. I live in the United States, so that's probably what I'm going to see first. But definitely there have been global sightings, even as I speak, even as I film, even after I post this video. We are probably going to see a collective amount of footage, photos, and first-hand eyewitness accounts of UAPs and these orbs that are floating and flying and stationary in the atmosphere where people are witnessing this. Check this out.
By the FBI and DHS to allow state and local law enforcement to deploy assets that can safely take down drones that shouldn't be in the air right now.
And Bill and Sandra, you know, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham Borough. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So a lot of the footage you're seeing now, it's a lot more prevalent. People have their eyes on the sky. But again, in these congressional or House hearings that we've seen this year, last year, and beyond, government agencies or whistleblowers have said that as far as like extraterrestrial life, they believe it comes from the ocean. And now you can go down a whole rabbit hole of how there have always been signs that, I'm using air quotes, aliens or extraterrestrial life, beings or intelligent life has existed in our oceans. And you have tons of conspiracy theorists. You have people claiming that they have proof. If you look back in history, the signs were there. Look, you can jump down that rabbit hole if you like. Maybe I'll find a video for you and put something in the description below. But that is one theory, that extraterrestrial intelligent beings reside and come from the ocean. And now they're popping out of the ocean. Look, there is footage and eyewitness accounts saying that they've seen UAPs come out of the water. Specifically like the Pacific Ocean, I'm pretty sure all over the world. Again, what I see first, because I live in the United States, and if you probably live in the United States, you're going to see US stuff first. I'm not saying this is the only place this happens. I'm just saying this is what I'm seeing first. There probably are global witnesses and footage in other places all around the world. I mean, you don't have to look far to find in the past there have been extraterrestrial accounts or witnesses in Africa, you know, the UK, in China, Latin America, South America, Brazil. There have been a lot of stories and a lot of occurrences that are unexplained or that people have witnessed for themselves.
2. Glowing orbs around Mexico's El Popo volcano. A webcam in Mexico City caught something rather unusual near El Popo volcano in 2017. In this instance, a bright orb was seen ascending in the sky.
But look closely. The light flies closer and closer to the camera, when suddenly it explodes into a glowing orb and climbs up into the atmosphere.
But what about this video near El Popo where there are multiple glowing orbs? Now that's harder to explain.
My first thought was, what is happening here?
In the series The Proof is Out There, an astronomer and video effects designer examined the video and struggled to come up with a plausible explanation. If there really is no satisfactory explanation, these orbs could justifiably be classified as unidentified aerial phenomena.
Then I came across this video. Listen to this.
The orbs, or the quote-unquote UFOs, could be plasmoids. Now, first off, in my second video, I talk about plasmoids, and people are confused. They think it might be an alien, or it might be just a normal occurrence in our physical environment, but in all reality, this has been researched and documented over time. So if you look at Princeton University's Plasma Innovation Center, this place is co-run by the Department of Energy. And the Department of Energy, if you guys don't know, was also in charge of part of the Manhattan Project, which was aka the atom bomb. And if you look at how many people worked on the atom bomb or the Manhattan Project before anyone knew, it was kept really secret. And these type of facilities are always experimenting with different things. Now, if you look at what they're actually dealing with a technology that is able to create a plasmoid, and that technology is the following. In their website, they talk about high energy density plasma. Now, these conditions are found in nuclear explosions and in the core of giant planets that are among the most extreme states of matter created on Earth. So they are essentially recreating these scenarios, and these scenarios can actually create plasmoids, and plasmoids are almost alien because we know nothing about them. We've only seen them in pictures. They're very elusive, but the crazy part is that they show signs of intelligence. So people are really freaking out about them. And if this happened in New Jersey, then the government would dispatch drones to research them because there are quite a few of them, and it's something that everybody's been wanting to learn about, and it could be part of technology, weapons, defense, energy, a lot of things. So this is a big deal. Now, somebody asked me, why are they all over the planet? Well, these type of plasmoids could occur in natural situations in volcanoes or high energy outputs. Just these things are also starting to pop up more in numbers and more in occurrence. And that's the troubling part, is why we're starting to see them more and more.
A light bulb went off when I saw that video. And it reminded me of this episode, and I believe it's a Netflix series called Unexplained Files. And it was the episode of the 1994 Oakville, Washington State occurrence where these blobs, these clear blobs, basically rained down on this town. Not once, but several times.
It was raining, and then people saw these little pellets of weird goo.
We were like poking them with sticks and like trying to like pick them up.
There's one mystery no one in this small Grace Harbor timber town has ever been able to solve.
They were just flabbergasted of what this stuff was. You know, they just couldn't believe it. What is it?
Just like Joe, except it's very clear. On August 7, 1994.
I can't imagine for the life of me what this is.
People in Oakville reported a rain like no other. Instead of droplets, gelatinous goo fell from the sky.
I know I became very sick to my stomach, severe vertigo.
After Dottie Hearn touched the stuff, she had to go to the hospital, and her kitty died. State investigators determined it was organic, but listed it as an unknown substance. The TV show Unsolved Mysteries failed to crack the case in the late 1990s. But 30 years later, it remains an unsolved mystery. You might think advances in science over the decades could have helped investigators, but the state only had about a year to look into this. All the samples were lost.
I don't know. It's still kind of spooky.
August 7th in 1994, local people claim that there was a storm that blew through the town, but not only did it rain, it was raining these clear blobs. And it was this crazy like anomaly that this happened. So of course local people were scratching their heads. They're like, what is this? Some people theorized that they thought, you know, it is the Pacific Northwest. They thought maybe the storm, you know, picked up some jellyfish from, you know, the sea or the ocean, and it rained on the town. Here's where that got debunked, because it didn't only happen once. It happened several more times over the span of time. And after the first event happened on August 7th, one person or one lady lived with her mom on their little farm there in Oakville. She worked for the health department. So she's a very, I guess, methodical, scientific mind. So right away when she saw the substance all over her mom's land, she said, let me get a sample of this. So her and her brother, who is a paramedic, a medical professional, carefully got the substance and collected it and turned it into the local health department. The second theory was that it was airplane waste, and they checked with local flights of these occurrences that were flying over the town when this happened. No, they debunked it, and that's very easily because, like someone said, typically airplanes have that blue toilet bowl cleaner in their toilets, so it was not blue. This was clear and gelatinous. Then, when the results came back from those samples that woman collected from her mother's farm, they found 2 types of bacteria. And it was also stated that these two types of bacteria can easily be found in human digestive system or mammals. Not only humans, but mammals. And the man that actually tested this and researched this said he theorized that this blob-like substance was a carrier. That it was a carrier and it could carry things like viruses or bacteria. And here's where it gets very strange. So the woman that collected the sample from her mother's farm at the time was working at a local diner. Now in the episode, she calls it a soda fountain, and I was confused by that, but I'm assuming it's like a malt shop or a little cafe that serves like fountain drinks and like malts and shakes. So when she was at work one day, she said that there were 3 suspicious looking males, like dressed in black, think like Men in Black, and they looked all official. And they walked into the diner and they went up to her and said, "So is this the town where that, weird blob stuff was raining?" And she was like, "Yeah." Then they went on to say, "Yeah, we heard someone in town saw a black helicopter flying over." And here's what I didn't mention. So the woman, I believe her name is Dottie Hearn. She's the mother of the woman that turned in the samples. So she would film things with like her, I'm assuming a camcorder, 1994, I'm just calling it a camcorder. Later, she saw these like black, what appeared to be these black military helicopters flying over her property and around the town, and she filmed it. Dottie Hearn's daughter, Sunny is the one that collected all these things with her brother and like turned it into the health department. Well, while she was working her shift, I guess at that local diner, she said they were very suspicious and they just quickly left. But as they were leaving, someone in the diner got the license plate number. And so local authorities tried to trace the license plate number, and it was traced back to Fort Hood, Texas. And so clearly people theorize that it was some sort of military testing. And this is important. This is why when I see these videos and people are theorizing that, oh, it's the military, it's the government, let me tell you why my mind went to this episode. And this happened in the 90s, 1994. These plasma-like blobs rained down on this town and people actually got sick. The woman, Dottie Hearn, I believe one of her pet cat passed away while coming in contact with that substance. Also, a lot of local people that touched it or came in contact with it also fell really ill. Dottie Hearn has since passed away, but Sunny, the daughter, who was actually interviewed in this documentary series, did go on to say that her mother also fell ill. And so getting the results back saying that there were 2 types of bacteria that were found, this is why the man at the health department, the man that actually researched the samples that Sunny turned in, he deduced that it was a carrier of some sort. And this is why they think this has to have government, US government military ties. But here's another important detail that I've discovered that's going on with this New Jersey drones and UAPs and helicopters flying over people's homes. And there was recently, I believe, like this meeting or hearing or like town meeting with all these local politicians and leaders. And basically the government is telling them, don't avoid touching them, coming in contact with them, stay indoors. We don't know what it is. Very, very, very ambiguous and vague.
What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. What the Bureau has done to aid our state and local partners is what we generally do, enlist the help of the interagency, enlist the help of the public. There's a tip line there, that 1-800-CALL-FBI, tips.fbi, for information from the public that could help us resolve this. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know.
And again, let's be real. We know that if the government doesn't want to tell you, it's because they know and they want to keep us in the dark. And somebody actually said the fact that the government is coming out and saying that aliens are real makes them believe that they're actually not. And it's all a distraction. Look, good theory. I'm not saying which is true or not, but that's out there. Other than those other facilities that gentleman spoke about in his video that reside in New Jersey, here's another important company or corporation that resides in New Jersey. You want to know what it is? I'll tell you. Lockheed Martin. For those of you not familiar with who or what Lockheed Martin does or who they are, I'll tell you. I have a quick Google search and I'm going to read to you exactly what it is that they do in Moorestown, New Jersey. Here at Lockheed Martin in Moorestown, New Jersey, we develop and produce a variety of capabilities, including radar sensors, maritime systems, and missile defense technology for a broad range of domestic and international customers. So, again, this is me being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, I guess. And I wouldn't be the only one, by the way. You don't have to Google search this. You can look in the comment section. And I'm not saying everything that comes out of the comment section of videos on social media is 100% true. But you do have a lot of people that either have experience in this, are directly connected to these companies, or have a history of understanding what's going on. So, here's kind of what I sort of think right now, which totally could be proven wrong and is completely a theory. I think definitely the drones that people are filming look man-made. They don't look otherworldly. Now, as far as those orbs that news station aired and that people are filming themselves, people are saying that's plasma or plasmoids. And let me give you the definition of plasmoids in case you're just like, what is this? Why do you keep using this word? Check this out. Plasmoids are structures made of plasma and magnetic fields that can be found in nature and in laboratories. In nature, plasmoids are found in the sun's atmosphere, in stars, and in quasars. They are also thought to explain natural phenomena like ball lightning, magnetic bubbles, and objects in cometary tails. Plasmoids can be created in laboratories in dense plasma focuses, spheromax, and field-reversed configurations. Plasmoids are a key area of research in the quest to sustain nuclear fusion. So clearly, this could be something natural or something man-made. Now that you know what plasmoids are, and we're sort of up to speed on that, I just can't help to remember that crazy unexplained occurrence of that town in Oakville, Washington, that had those blobs rain down. And when they studied it, it turned out that it did have two types of bacteria, and they sort of theorized and deduced that it had to do something with the government or military. So this occurrence specifically in New Jersey, and it could be in other places, I'm just talking kind of like what I've seen in New Jersey and surrounding areas, because it's not only New Jersey, I believe like Michigan, New York, Long Island, like there's a lot of places that have been filming and witnessing these drones and those orbs in the sky. So here's the other thing with the drones. This is why I think the drones are man-made, and I'm not even saying it's military. I'm just saying it's not this otherworldly spacecraft ship thing. According to FAA regulations, all drones, including aerial drones and planes, must have visible lights, particularly when flying at night, to ensure safety and prevent collisions with other aircrafts. These are called anti-collision lights and need to be bright enough to be seen from a significant distance. And you'll notice in the footage that I've shown you, or you can just do a quick Google search or go on social media, a lot of these drones do have like red and white or red and green blinking lights. It doesn't seem otherworldly. Look, do aliens and extraterrestrials, have technology that can mimic, drones from this earth or this world? Sure. I mean, that's not far-fetched to think about, but I'm just kind of going off of what's happening. Now, what does seem to be otherworldly or extraterrestrial would be these orbs. Somebody also had a theory about these orbs, where you have a lot of people turning to the Bible saying those are actual, biblical angels. Okay, great. That is a theory. I've seen other people say that those orbs that look like plasmoids, actually, they're probably just some sort of cloaking device or technological shield that's actually shielding another type of drone. And they're testing this on the public. And they theorize the reason why the US government and military and whistleblowers are all collectively coming out saying, surprise, aliens are real, so that now that they're testing all of this, we're not going, ooh, it's the government. We're going, oh my gosh, it's the aliens, it's the extraterrestrials. So that is another theory, that all of this is by design. The distraction was the government actually saying, yes, aliens and extraterrestrials are real, when in fact, it's just them testing these new technological drones or weaponry. I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. But there's that. Now, again, this is just a theory. This is just something that came to mind with all of the footage that I've been seeing over the course of like 2 months, and even like 2 years ago with all of the hearings and things like that. Now, witnesses, footage, and firsthand accounts of encounters of the third kind, alien abductions, things like that, that is nothing new. Anything I'm talking about in this video, you can Google, you can find the resource. I will link some of that in the description below. This is not me just pulling out a story from thin air. This is happening in real time. This is real. Now, the source and where it's coming from, is it man-made? Is it otherworldly? Is it extraterrestrial? Other intelligent beings? Look, all great questions, all great theories. I just don't know. And it is a lot. And if you are like someone like me, when I get fixated on a subject, I do want to know the answers. Sometimes I have to reel it in and go, you know what, it's not even worth my time and energy. But this is happening in real time. A lot of it is a bit shocking, but then you go through, like, at least me, it's like shocking, it's surprising, it's like, whoa, that's real. And then you see it enough, then you get desensitized. And then you go, okay, what's new? Maybe that's all by design. Maybe that's the theory. Maybe everything the way it's unfolding, it's supposed to happen so that we do go, we don't believe it. Seeing is believing. Now it's not even seeing is believing, because you have people thinking it's all AI anyways. You see? You see this like loop that we're in? First it's shocking, surprising, then it's like it's not real, then it's real, but so what, who cares? We see it all the time. Very, very fascinating. Very, very fascinating, and definitely some wild times. So I hope this video makes you wonder, and if you have your own theories, comment down below. I'm all about reading people's theories. Look, I've probably seen it all over the last months anyway in the comment sections. People make light of it, people joke about it, people just say it's not real. Some of the commenters say that they are firsthand witnesses of wild things happening above us. I don't know, but we shall see, because like I said, the moment I post this video, there will be more footage. There will be probably more hearings and more eyewitnesses of the UAPs and these fascinating anomalies that are happening in the sky right now. So that's the video, and I will see you in the next one.